the cloud. Okay, let's see. Lisa says she can talk in 5 seconds. So it's all good. Got everybody. Okay, so welcome to call 2, free call of what it takes, what is required to, take your business from a thought in your head or wherever it's at, or wherever you want it to go beyond where it's at right now, just kind of that energetic stimulation conversation. Now, yesterday, I think I blasted you all with a lot of information. So if I did, it is what it is. Okay, good, good. I was kind of like, I don't listen to my re-recordings, but after I got off, I'm like, whoa, what was all that? There was just like, whew. I have a desire, burning desire to always just, we all usually do, to give, like give information. And then sometimes I forget we can only receive so much, but that's what the recordings are for. So yesterday, we kind of looked at the beginning of, like, some of you are new, and I attached into the new to me and new to energetics and new to access consciousness tools, plus new to the style of how I coach. So in the email that I sent you with the recording, I attached the clearing statement in there. Okay. It is an amazing tool, and it sounds weird, and it is weird, and it's made to fry your brain so you can't figure out what I'm talking about. You can go in, you can study it, you can learn it, you can perceive the energy of it. But anything that takes us out of our heads and trying to figure something out takes us into question, choice, and possibility. So it's meant to go, we're right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, povads, and beyonds. And abbreviation is POC and pod, POC and pod, POC and pod. And what that simply means in energetics of business is anywhere you have anywhere in your life said, I will never do this. I will never be this. That sucked. That was good. Anywhere you made like this energetic whoop, that's what we call a POC moment. Point of creation. You locked it in, baby. Whether no right, wrong, good or bad. But I don't know where we're going to go with the call today. We might go into judgment of ourselves and with business, because I was really toying with that today. But anywhere you have judged yourself, which could be a long line of judgment in your world, every time you do judgment, you POC in a point of creation. So in your business, if you have a business, and you've had it for a while or whatever, there's lots of judgment you've done. There just is. And then judgment on yourself. So that's point of creation, locked it in. POC and pod is from that moment on, you destroyed the possibility of creating. That's kind of just a simple way I look at it. It's like, oh my God, I locked that in. I said I would never do that. I said I would never be that big. I said I never wanted to be judged. All those things that you just silently say to yourself now become your reality, because they become your points of view, POC and pod, or anywhere you bought them from somebody else. Like whatever, self-employed has a lot of points of view that come at it with people, to people, if they're not self-employed or an entrepreneur. So the clearing statement is like a magic wand. It like wipes it all off. It's a clear, it just depends how you perceive it. And I perceive it blowing up the energy. So we asked a lot of questions yesterday, but kind of going back to this one place over this next 5 days is like, what is truly possible that you have never considered that goes way beyond the obvious? So like, what is that with your business? Or if your business is brand new, like what is possible? What is truly possible that you have never considered because you had so many points of view that it was never possible, that goes way beyond that? And everything that doesn't allow that, let's just play in that energy today, which is kind of light and playful, and question, are you ready to take your business beyond the obvious? That's such a great name of a topic of anything. And that's what I will be inviting you. You are all invited to my next course, a deep dive for 12 weeks. And whether that's individually, but I do have a mastermind energetic group, and it has so many possibilities. But it's really like, if you'd like to take the next 12 weeks to take it beyond what is obvious, there'll be an invitation to that. Okay, so let me backtrack. That's the Pock and Pod. I want to read some things to you. I've taught a lot of classes on this, but this kind of comes from what we call the joy of business in Access. And there's a book. I've taught like the basic tools. I am not a joy of business facilitator with Access, but bringing those tools in has sure created. So I do want us to look at today that, let's see, business or work, whatever you call it, is a huge force in the way we shape our lives. So anywhere you have created separation from this is my business and this is my life, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate the limitations of that? Because everything's one and the same. There is no separation. So anywhere you're willing to just do that, and so it's like, you know what? My life in living in business coexist together. So what I'm choosing in my life, I'm also creating in my business. And a lot of times that lights people up because they're like, I want to be separate, like it's a mess over here and it's happy over here and it's a mess over here. What if there was no judgment on any of it? No judgment. Play in the space of no judgment. But what would it be like if they could exist together and they could both have more question and more possibility in them so that we could expand on both of them? Okay, so no judgment in that place. Every day when you wake up, you have a choice to create your life, or you let it be created by projections of this reality. It's kind of a heavy thing. So again, the choices that you are choosing today to create your future right away is a question to have on a sticky note by your desk and be in that question for your business. I've mentioned the Phenomenal Woman community, and it's a group where we've been doing this energy clearing for 30 days. Like, what is it? What would you like your future? Because the energy of our future is already created. What can we choose today to be that future right away? So what energy can I choose today to create my future right away? And everything, ladies, that doesn't allow that, all the thoughts, the feelings, and emotions, would you destroy and uncreate that? Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, povads, and beyonds. Your life is your business, and your business is your life. Your life is your business, and your business is your life. Your life is your business, and your business is your life. So I have people in this group. We had 43 women in this group, and it's super exciting. I'm so glad to be of service for that. And some of the women in here do not have a business, but our business is our life. Our life is our business, and our business is our life. So learning these tools and understanding how energy works and all of those is a great expansion for all of that. So if you're stuck in a comfortable or conventional way of doing business or living, and that limits your life. Okay, it doesn't have to be that way. So I'm inviting you guys to look at this is what I'm doing. This is how I've been creating. But what is this energetic element that's there? That is, because everything is energy. And how can I bring that in? How can I start adding that to my life? Because it's already there. We just haven't chose it. Okay, so that's kind of a little bit I want more, but can I use all the energy, because everything's energy, to start creating more ease in my life, more joy in my life? And ease, joy, and glory is the kind of mantra from Access, meaning being that energy of that. So what if your life and living, work and business could be creative and joyful? So everywhere right now in your world, in your life, you're living, your work, and your business, and you're not being creative and joyful. It's not creative and joyful. Can you just be aware of that, but not judge that? Because remember, as soon as we go into judgment, we stop everything. but just like, oh, okay, fucking cool. Sorry, I do have a mouth like a sailor. I try not to do that, but it's like, okay, cool. My life, my living, my work in business is not joyful. Okay, cool. Okay, so what can we create that's joyful? Because joy creates more. And if I wasn't to judge it, where am I not being creative that I could be creative? Okay, so that is like the number one thing when it comes to like everything, especially from this coaching seat, is that if we are willing to acknowledge what actually is happening in every area, we can then choose more. Most of people aren't willing to acknowledge that whatever is actually is happening. So then you pretend like it's not and you move all around it. And then you wonder why this isn't growing. So the biggest gift we can give to ourselves in our business is like, this is what's really happening. Or if you're not, I used to run into this when I was coaching women. It's like, they kept saying they wanted more with their business. I want more. Number one, eliminate the word from want, because that creates lack. So that's one of your words that you want to eliminate. I have you'll get that if you coach and stuff. I have this booklet. It's called Words Are the Key to Create Success. You can actually get it off my website, and there's certain words to eliminate. And one of them is want. Every time you say want, you actually create lack. So write that on your little list. And it's not that you can't say it someday later when you realize that's what you're creating. But I would work with women and they'd be like, I want to be this. I want to have that. I want to that. And number one, they were just creating less of that. I used to do that with money all the time. But when you really asked, when I really asked them to get real and honest and aware, because consciousness is awareness, and say, you're saying this is what you want or you desire, but is it truly, truly, truly what you desire? And once they would come back to what their true awareness was, is that it really wasn't. They were just saying that because they thought that's what they should be saying. And as soon as they could come back, like instantly, bring them to the space of, I just got the chills of how many times that's happened with women. They're like, no, that isn't even really what I want. I just thought that's what I was supposed to be saying. Okay, cool. So that's not what you want. So what is it that if you could choose something that you would choose right away? And so taking us from this space of what we think we should be, or, you know, if you're in network marketing, it's a real thing that happens all the place, because you have this projection and expectation and energy around you that this is where you should be, when you might actually innately not even want that. So you're in this energetic void of like, I want this, I want to create this, but you're really just here. And if you really just acknowledge this is truly what I want for my business today, you can then at that point have all of it. That's how, when I left Mary Kay and I left my organization, I resigned from Mary Kay. I gave my company to my offspring. I took a year or so of this place of, it was just weird. It's been a transformation of like looking at what success meant to me. Because the word success has so many points of view on it. Like I had never stopped and gone, what is success for me? And I've been successful in everything I've done, but I did it all like unconscious, and I did it with so much struggle. There's so much to that. But when I stopped and I took a year off, and I still worked, I was creating, you know, some of us creators, what we do in a day is what some people takes a month to do. So if I'm just doing what I think is nothing, it's still a lot. But I took a lot of time, and I'm like, what is success? So that's a question for you ladies right now. If we get trapped into this thing of like, I want to be a successful coach. So say I say that, and then I go, what does that even mean? So if you want to be successful, what is that? What does that word even mean to you? So everything that success is and isn't in your world, would you be willing to destroy and create all the energy that's wrapped around that word? Right, wrong, good, bad, POC, POC, all nine shorts, boys, POVADs, and beyond. That's like this clarity thing I was talking about. It's like, what is truly possible that you've never considered that goes way beyond the obvious? So if we're like, well, what is that? What is success for me? And your success will not match anybody's, because once you start to ask, like, what is it for me? So over the last 3 years, it's just changed. And what I desired in my life, having another business, was, what would it be like to have a business that had ease in it? And my business has more ease energetically. I'm more ease than I ever thought was possible. So there's more to that, but it's like, so success. So what is your point of view of what success is and isn't? And I have no idea where I went off on that. Oh, we were talking about acknowledging what it is that you truly desire, regardless of what everybody else's points of view of what it is that you should be doing or choosing. So, does anybody have any questions on that? Because like I said yesterday, I just blew you guys out. I gave you so much information, but like right now, are you aware of anything? Does that bring anything up for you? Claudia?
So it's just so much that is coming up for me. Okay. Especially because I work in an industry that's legal services, and we are and I have been limited so much by what I can do by not being an attorney, and the in all these points of view with limitations that I have. But now you said something very interesting that I've been asking myself, but not really knowing, is this really something I want to continue doing and creating? And there's fear that comes up because I think, well, what else can I do? I don't know what else. Like, I don't have any other skills.
Okay. So let's do some facilitation so you guys can see kind of how I would work with a client. So just quickly. So number one, Claudia, you went into where most of us do. You went into immediately into the projections of what it's going to look, of what's you did exactly what the question is what is truly possible that you've never considered that goes way beyond the obvious. So what if you were in that energy question? And I know it sounds weird. It's like, how can questions actually create? Oh my gosh, they do. They do. They do, because there's no answer. There's only expansion. So that question is something you can just run with. Like, what beyond what my projections are and my conclusions is possible? That's it. Just run with that and it will start popping. And then we ask this question of, another question is, if I choose this, will it create something in 5 years? If I don't choose this, will it create something in 5 years? So if you're looking at something in your business, you don't have to go 5 years out, but the reason we go 5 years out is the brain cannot compute 5 years. It can definitely, you're welcome, Lupita. You can definitely go 6 months or a year, because see, we can see that. We're working with energy beyond. So that's why we say, so in your life and living right now, if you continue to choose what it is that you're choosing with the job that you're choosing, will it create more? Yes or no? Yes or no, Claudia? Okay, cool. No. So it won't. So everything that is, and everything that brings up, and everything that just brings up, would you destroy and uncreate all of it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, pobeds, and beyond. What if you didn't have to know what it is that you were going to do, but you sat with the energy of what else is possible? What could that create? Does that pop you right into all the fear and everything? Or does it pop you into a space of like, I have a choice to choose something different. I don't know what that is, but I'm going to ask questions. And when I have some more awareness, then I'll ask if I should choose it. Wow, that was a humongous mouthful.
I get it.
You got it? Okay, sorry. Yes. I was like, what was that? Okay.
No, it's really good. Yes. No fear. It's just like, what would that choice be? Yes.
What could that choice be?
Yes.
Not even would, sorry. What could it be that I can't even imagine? I'm going to just do a plug for coaching. Whether you use me or somebody else, it is my point of view. It is so difficult for us to keep moving ourselves forward and destroying and creating energy when we're trying to do it all by ourselves. So I just, wherever you go, if whatever it is that you want to create more of, if you want to do it with fast and ease and expansion, find somebody to move you there. Okay. But a lot of times we don't choose that because we also choose to be stuck where we're at. And that's okay too. And if you choose that, acknowledge that's what you're choosing so that there's space and choice and possibilities in that. See, there's nothing wrong with that. That's where we can twist it on ourselves and judge it. Okay, Claudia, you said something else about that. So ask me a question about, you have an awareness that it's not going to grow. Cool. You now have a space that you can just ask a question of like, if I don't continue to choose this job, what else is possible that I haven't considered? You have no idea. But what is it, if you had it your own way, what is it that you would choose? Have you started to create the space of what it is that you would like to have in your life and living? Have you done that yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, that's your homework.
Yes.
Okay, and it's not even that we know. We don't know. And if you're open to the energy of it, just like, let me see what shows up, then we start asking questions about that. Okay. So cool. I think that gives you a little bit more space on that.
Definitely. Thank you.
Yeah. What else is possible that you haven't ever considered? The most powerful question in Access Consciousness and the most simple question ever. Okay, cool. Lisa, did I finish you, Claudia? Was that good? Was that okay?
Yes,
okay.
Thank you.
Cool.
I do have homework.
Okay, good. Home play. We call it home play in Access because homework has a point of view on it. Do you see how point of view is? It's like,
Yes.
This is my homework. And you have all these points of view of the past of what home play is and homework is. It's home play. Play it at home, do it in your daily activities. So, Lisa, you have a question, babe?
No, I'm trying to absorb.
Okay. So what would it be like for you if you could just receive all of this with ease?
What would it be like for me if I could receive it all with ease? I don't know, like my head would be a sponge. That would be nice.
Okay, so what would it be like? What it would be like if you did not have to understand any of this, but period. What it would be like if you didn't have to understand it. But then let me ask you another question. Is this what we're talking about? Is it light or heavy for you?
That I love. I had to switch my, can you guys still hear me?
Yes, perfect.
Sorry, these blew out. That I love when you did that last time, whenever we talked, I love that. I freaking love that you did that. For me, some of this, yesterday I felt heavy only because I want to know what you're talking about. And it's not that I don't know what you're talking about. This is so new to me. This is so new that I'm already a squirrel in my own life. Like I'm like all the time.
Right.
And so when I have different, I'm learning new things. And that's the cool part is I want to learn what you're saying. But at the same time, my head is just bouncing and it's bouncing. That's just me.
How much do you judge? How much do you judge that bouncing? A little bit, a lot, or a megaton?
A lot. I have a very bad issue with just judgment on myself, period.
Okay. Cool. Got it. So everybody right there, everybody that judges themselves, because I was just doing this, judge myself for the way that I function in my office or the way that I function in my life or the way that I think. Would you be willing to put your barriers down and just allow that everywhere that you judge yourself as the wrongness is actually the strongness of you?
Yes, okay. I would love to do that.
So just receive that. And you don't even need to understand it. Just let a little bit in. So everywhere that you've judged yourself as wrong, because if you're on this call with me, you're a judger of yourself, not of others, of yourself. And we put ourselves in this loop, wrong, 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 wrong. And what I'm just giving us the reminder is everything that's wrong about us that we think is wrong is actually the gift of us. Because we are different. We function different. We create different. We think different. Our bodies are different. Welcome to the seeker world. Welcome to the growth junkie world. Welcome to these tools which is why I like Access, along with all my other modalities and things I've learned in 40 years, is these tools, heavy or light, is such a pragmatic tool that you can take everywhere in your life forever. So, and in your business, and start to learn, is it heavy or is it light? Well, if it's light, I'll probably ask some more questions and then I'll choose it. If it's heavy, like I got off the call yesterday, I was like, oh my God, that was so heavy. Because I was aware that there was a lot of energy. So and then I looked at that, and here's what I know. That energy, that heaviness wasn't mine. It was your guys's energy. So when we're really aware and conscious, we're actually aware of what everybody else is aware of, but we've decided it's ours that we're aware of. That's a whole nother class. But everywhere that we're judging and spinning and judging our business and all of that, how much of that's even our judgment? Or it's somebody else? Okay, bingo. And that's what this work is about, of realizing, oh my gosh, I'm judging, and it's not even me that's judging. I'm a little sponge. I'm a little energetic psychic seeker sponge, and I take everything in. And so we do that with our business as well, or creating a business. So Lisa, that just opened up a whole new yumminess. But it's like, what would it be like that even you just learn that tool, heavy or light? Like if I choose this, is it light? If I don't, and being with that. Okay. Cool. Lisa, any other questions?
No, it just made me think of when you said that, like, is it yours or someone else's? And I don't
Yes.
want to talk of everyone. I don't know how everyone is raised, but the way I feel like I was raised, not that I love the Lord, I already told you that, being a Christian, but you grow up with sometimes in a very judgmental household, and it's conditioning. So you just carry that conditioning on, and then you can get conditioned in even your marriage. You can get conditioned in your business. So you just kind of carry this conditioning with you, even though you don't believe the way they believe, but they've conditioned you to believe that way. Does that make sense?
Everything that is, can we clear that?
Let's clear it.
Okay, so everything that was, would you destroy and uncreate that?
Oh yeah.
And all the oaths, the vows, the commitments, the fidelity, all the promises, and all of the everything else, clauses, and everything else I'm not going to mention. Would you revoke, recant, rescind, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate all of those commitments? Woo! Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys, poveds, and beyond.
Yeah, I would.
Okay. So when we say I would, allow the clearing just to sink in, because if it's a layering, but it's already you just asking the question, you're already being willing to be a different energy and let go of these points of view. I love the way you called it conditioning, because the conditioning are points of view. So we just happen to say your points of view create your reality. Well, 99% of your points of view that you're functioning from don't even belong to you.
Right.
So then we start bringing in tools and awareness and consciousness and going, like, okay, that's super heavy. What is it that I would choose for myself? Which is why we do question, because question it's open. There's nobody else's conditioning on it, and there's nobody else's point of view on it. Cool. Okay. Good job, Lisa. I know you're like just jumping in going, whoo, but you're getting pieces of it. And how does it get any better than that? So
I'm cool with jumping in. I think the only way to jump in is to freaking jump in, though.
yeah.
So,
and the one thing with energy and access consciousness tools, there is no beginning and there is no end. You just jump in. And that pissed me off for a very long time with Access, because I wanted to know tool number 1, 2, 3, 4. And I did. I actually did I've read the books, taken classes, and there's a billion classes with Access and things to teach. But I did get these 4 tools down: heavy or light, who does it belong to, question creates possibilities, What's another one? Those are probably just the three we'll talk about right now. Yeah, but there's like those three basics, like change everything, everything. So that was a fun call. Nothing that I was going to talk about, but that's usually how energy goes. So
What was the third one? I'm sorry to interrupt you. Who
You're
does
not.
it belong to, heavy or light?
Let me, why am I drawing a blank? Hold on. Hold on. I was gonna, who does it belong to? Heavy or light? Return to sender.
Question. Creates a
Question.
possibility.
Thank you, Lupita. I think that was Lupita. And other one is going to be interesting point of view. Those are like the beginning tools of asking and creating and consciousness. I swear if you master a couple of those, your whole life will change. But you have to use them. You have to
Yeah,
practice.
but it's so grateful that I'm grateful for you to say that to me, because so many people, will come and visit and talk and have just oppression on their lives. So it's going to be able to be nice to say, hold on, is that heavy or light?
Yes.
Because if
yes.
it's heavy, let it go. That's going to be nice to just,
Yep.
thank you.
Cool. And you'll find, yes. How's it getting any better than that? And then what we don't realize until we start to realize how much of that we're doing in our work. That's why life and living and business all are together. Because if you're taking it on here, you're taking it on in your business, and oh my God, none of it belongs to you. So what if I was to create from where I'm at? And remember, there's no beginning, there's no end, there's just creation and choice and consciousness. I mean, may I be the mouthpiece of consciousness for your world right now while you're learning more. That's kind of what my calling, it's not a calling, but I'm aware that that's what I am right now. All of us who are like, diving in. In energy work and consciousness and all that, I mean, I was doing this work for 35 years ago. And I was like, hush, underground, hiding. I mean, you didn't talk about any of this stuff because we were considered way woo-woo out there, right? But today, it is so pragmatic. Everything's energy. So if we just function from that and just go, wow, what is that creating? And use these fun, easy, pragmatic tools, and anybody can, it takes it out of what it used to be. Today is a place where it's like, oh my God, a lot of us are showing up for a different possibility, for a different reality, for a different planet, really. I mean, if we really go into it. So, okay, so there we go. That was good. That was good. So in your day to day, take with what you got and then just play with the tool heavy or light in your business for fun. Just because it's heavy also does not mean you don't choose it. Heavy is a question. Question and asking if it's heavy requires another question. So for example, if you want to choose something or something's coming up and you get this instant like thud and you're like, oh my God, that's so heavy. What am I aware of? Then we go to awareness. So like with your business, like I have so many projects here that I want to do because I'm a massive creator. But there's like 10 of them that aren't going to go anywhere yet because they're so heavy. So instead of judging them, I'll look at that, like I want to create all these things, right? And I'll go, God, that's heavy today. Okay, so what am I aware of with that program or that thing that I want to offer? I'm aware of it's heavy because nobody that I know yet can receive that. Okay, cool. So I'm not going to do it yet. Okay, or that program that, like something else that needs to be created. It's like, that's heavy because I need help to put it together. There's nothing wrong with me. It's what's required. It's heavy is to get some help to do that. Okay, well, what can I do today that would help that program grow? Well, you know what? It's still heavy to find somebody. Okay, cool. I'll put it to the side. And so it takes everything out of judgment because I'm in choice. So, and then in business, we don't function that way. We function from whether I'm doing it right or I'm doing it wrong. And here it's like, I'm just choosing. Do it wrong, do it badly, do it anyway, and just keep asking questions. If I choose this today, will it create something? If it doesn't create something, I may not choose it, but let me ask some more questions about it. Does anybody have any questions about that right now with something that's going on in their life before we end? Anything with business that's heavy or light and you just want to ask?
I wanted to ask something.
Hi, Lupita. Yes.
Okay, here, let me turn on my camera.
Hi.
Okay. What did I want to ask? First of all, this is amazing, I love that I get to see you for a weekend or whatever. So yeah, this light and heavy, like I don't even know what question I have. Like, but what I wanted to ask earlier.
If you had a question,
Yeah, what I wanted
you
to ask
didn't have to
earlier
get it
was
right. Yeah.
about
Mhm.
yeah, it was about like just being with or not judging that I'm not doing anything,
Mhm.
that I'm not with my business.
So everywhere you keep looping back to this so that you don't create something. I work with Lupita. Would you please destroy and uncreate that? Right, wrong, good and bad, pod poc, all 9 shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. So you keep throwing judgment in there of what it is that you're doing wrong, but you're not doing anything wrong because you're not choosing anything. And there's nothing wrong with that. So what would it be like to be okay with that?
Cool. Well, that's where I'm trying to get. So I see all the pieces, how you pointed them out, right? Like the wrongness, I'm not choosing the judgment or the judgment of the wrongness. And like, and I see all.
Oh, you volume.
Yeah.
There.
There's somewhere where I'm still like, because I see that, but I'm still, I guess, buying that. Or
Are you asking a question?
I'm really not being okay. Yeah, that's what it's like. I can see all those things, and what would it take, I guess, for me to be willing to just be with that?
Yeah. And I was looking at this with some of the stuff, and I just right now what's popping in my world as I keep expanding is just, what is this? What is this? I'm just looking at I'm just putting it, what is this? And not judging it, just looking at it. And then things keep coming up. It's like, oh, that's what it is. Oh, that's what it is. And not judging it, not, yeah. So just simply, what is this? I don't know.
Cool. Yeah. So
this?
like, yeah. So every word that comes out of my mouth is gonna be a question.
Yeah, like, what is this?
And I'm gonna have fun with it.
Exactly. What is, that's perfect. That's great. Add the fun to it instead of like, I'm trying not to judge what this is. That's what I was doing.
Yeah.
Like, what is this? But I'm still judging what it is. And this is where we take our thoughts, our feelings, and emotions out of stuff. I know it gets so confusing because it's like we are also taught to be in our feelings, but feelings are heavy and they get us stuck and they don't belong to us. Being in question, instead of going like, what am I feeling here? What do I know? You know what I mean? It's like, what is it? And it's just like light, like, I don't know, what is it? And I'm just willing to be that question. So Lupita, continue to ask, what is it?
Yeah. Cool.
And everywhere that you're aware of what it is, but you're not willing to be aware of what it is, would you destroy and uncreate that? Where I'm wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all 9 shorts, boys, povads, and beyond.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I saw that. There's just some, yeah. Okay. All right. I will see you guys tomorrow and you will get the recording. Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Welcome.